This is Out Loud and Laughing. What is up, Chosen fam? Welcome back to the studio. Today, we are joined by a man who is single handedly proving that you can have a PhD and still be the funniest in the group chat. He is a digital phenom, a master of the relatable content game, and the only person on the internet who can make a thirst trap feel like a peer reviewed study. He is the king of blue balls at bait and switch and the best friend we all wish we had in our DMs. Please welcome to the pod the one, the only Dr. Tubbs. How are you, bud? How are you doing today?
Hey, fucker. Thanks for having me on. Looking forward to talking to you guys today.
We are so hyped to have you here. Before we get into any of the viral madness, though, we have to talk about the Sunshine State energy a little bit. John and I grew up in Fort Lauderdale, where you are, and saw you're over in Oakland Park. Did you grow up down there?
No, no, no. I'm from Central Florida, a very small town in Central Florida. Yeah, I've been bouncing around South Florida now for like 11 years.
Very nice.
But yeah, kind of settled down here now.
It's hard to leave the sunshine, amidst all of the political fanfare anyway. I am here, I have found my little bubble, I'm sure you're in your little bubble, and that's how we live our lives in Florida.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think that's what it is. I mean, anywhere you find your people and you build your community and you try your best.
That's the truth.
It's a small world in the 954, and given how much time you spent navigating kind of the Florida queer scene, how's it been being a Florida boy shaped the way you kind of approach humor? Is there something in the humidity that just makes you funnier?
I think it was the constant oppression maybe growing up, having to use humor as an escape. I definitely didn't find my voice probably until, like, later in college where I started, really opening up and making jokes the way I wanted to and not really caring what people really fucking think and just kinda, like, doing what I want. But South Florida, yeah, I mean, it's kinda hit or miss with the people here. You kinda gotta be careful what you say sometimes, but for the most part, everyone I talk to, all my patients and everything, everyone's good-spirited.
Totally, and I have to ask, what was the transition from living your life in South Florida to now taking your life online?
So it it's I don't think of my life online. I mean, the Dr. Tubbs thing to me is, more of like a not so much a persona because it really is kinda how I am, and it's kind of the jokes I make with my friends and everything like that, so I don't wanna say persona, but it's more of an escape for me to kinda, like, express myself and just to have fun. Um, so I don't do it full time. I mean, it's more of just a hobby for me. I still work full time, obviously, like, I don't know how people do it full time. I mean, I don't make any money, like, I don't do anything, so, I try my best to keep up with it and to keep up with the community and things like that because it's really great talking to everybody, and it just, like, expressing myself on there is awesome. But so the transition happened, I guess it was a little over a year ago now. I made a video for one of my friends, and he was like, "Damn, this is kinda funny, you should post this online," and it got some traction. I was like, "Alright, I can make some more videos." And one thing I always found was, like, with physical therapy and exercise and things like that is it seems to be, like, super overcomplicated, when it's just
So true.
simple stuff. All these things that I'm, like, kinda teaching are things that I think should just be taught in, like, elementary school and, like, just taught from the beginning so people know what they should be doing. And so I kinda started out with that base, just the simple, methodologies and things like that. Now I've been progressing and, like, adding some more complex ideas to it, but people are being really receptive. And then, of course, adding in, like, the little, like, queer humor here and
Yeah.
there.
I mean, the queer humor, but also slightly some of the queer thirst traps too, Dr. Tubbs.
Well, that just comes with the territory, you know, like, I constantly think of, like, the TikToks where they're, like, trying to keep, like, Gen Z's attention and, like but for us, it's,
Yeah.
like, trying to keep the gays' attention, and, whatever it takes to get the information out there, I don't mind doing, because it's helping a lot of people.
Yeah, I mean, you talk a little bit about that kind of posting that first video a year ago, and obviously you didn't just wake up with hundreds of thousands of followers, but you kinda did also in a weird way, right? So, was there a
Yeah.
specific video where you realize, "Okay, this is actually becoming a thing and I wanna keep doing it?"
Yeah, it blew up. I don't remember the exact numbers. I think I maybe had, like, 30,000 followers the first month, which I was like, it's weird, and I look back at it, and I look back at it now, and even now I'm like, "Damn, like, I wish this happened to me, like, back when I would've cared more." Now I'm like,
Yeah.
"Oh, that would've been so cool to have, like, the clout." But now, it doesn't mean much to me anymore, and I think that's why I'm able to be so genuine on there because 'cause I'm just like, I post what I think is funny, I post when I wanna post and things like that. But I would say, yeah, probably after I think it was in May. So I started it in February of last year, and I went to New York City in May, and I went out to some of the clubs and the bars and stuff, and people were coming up to me and, like, saying things, and because I don't go out here, so I don't really see people here, but when I went out there, I was like, "Shit, people are coming up to me in New York City, people are buying me drinks," and I was like, "That's weird, like, that's completely other end of the country here." And then later, I even went out to Oregon, and people were recognizing me out there. I was like, "Okay, maybe this is a little bit, bigger than I thought it was." Um, so yeah, pretty quick actually.
I mean, you brought up an interesting point at the very beginning when you said, like, "I wish this happened earlier because I would care." But I think that's probably the power in why you're popular is because you are your authentic self and you don't care. I think something that John and I did this podcast, we started it over a year ago as well, and we were like, we talk to each other every day, let's just hit record type thing. And
Mm.
so I think there's something in authenticity, right, that really kind of leads to kind of that viralism.
Yeah, absolutely, and I am in a unique position where I do work for myself. I don't have a boss, I don't have to worry about being like, "Oh, somebody found my TikToks," whatever. All my patients know, like, what I do, like, I
Yeah,
show
yeah,
it to
yeah.
them, they think it's funny. I'll be in the middle of a session with somebody, I'll be like, "Wait, this is gonna make a really funny joke, let me write this down." Uh, so, like, everybody knows and so it's no big deal, and I think that really puts me in a unique position to be able to bring that authenticity to the forefront here. A lot of other people probably don't have that privilege, and I recognize that, so I'm glad I can use it.
And while your content has sort of found its purpose, it also has this sweet spot of being incredibly specific to the gay experience. You were touching on this slightly earlier, which I find hilarious. But whether there are these like POV videos that you do or the commentary on dating, you somehow seem to have this pulse on exactly what the chosen fam out there is thinking, but maybe too afraid to say out loud. So, how do you decide like where to draw that line?
So, I think I am one of those I think they call it a floater friend. I'm one of those people that's kinda, like, in a lot of different groups. I don't really have, like, a set group, so I get to see a lot of aspects of it, and a lot of different type of gays, and so I have that, opportunity to bring that all together. Um I if I think something's a little maybe a little too risque or a little too on the nose, I'll run it by a couple of friends and just be like, "What do you guys think of this? Is this a little too much?" Um, More often than not, they'll say yes, and I still post it because I don't give a fuck. But, like, I don't know, there hasn't been anything. I mean, there's maybe, like, 1 or 2 things where I was like, "Okay, that might be a little too aggressive." But, as long as you can get the point across, I don't know if you guys have kept up with all the stuff, but, like, Facebook seems to be the most reactive. Um, I don't know what it is over there, people have no filter. So they really tell it like it is. So if something's going too far, they'll let me know.
Facebook is the barometer. It's just full of like a bunch of angry
Oh my gosh.
millennials
Well,
and
it's
on
also
them.
I feel like the reason why Facebook takes off also is just a bunch of old people. So
Right.
and they don't even know how to comment or like, they're just doing the thing and ends up making something viral. So take the ride with it. But I
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah, it's the same thing as me. I guess they have nothing to lose. So they're just
Yeah.
like but yeah.
I mean, that makes sense. So then remind us. So you're across Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. You're doing every single platform. So you are
Yeah,
really
so
leaning in here, Dr. Tubbs.
yeah, I started on TikTok, and then I think, like, a week later, I was like, "Well, I'll just do Instagram too. I'll just start posting to Instagram." But then Facebook reached out. They actually called me, and they asked if I would post to Facebook, and I was like, do people still use Facebook?" I was like, "Are you sure?" And she was like, "Yeah, yeah, we'll pay you." I think they paid me, like, a few $1,000 to, like, just to start posting to Facebook, and I was like, "Okay." I was like, "I'll do that." Uh, and so, yeah, I just posted all the same videos, and Facebook took off, yeah, pretty quick too. But yeah, so I was like, "Why not?" I mean, I have a Twitter, but I don't post to Twitter. I posted, like, 1 funny video on there. Everyone keeps thinking I'm gonna start posting, like, certain content to Twitter, but not anytime soon.
I was just gonna say, you keep talking about things being taken off, and working in the space of physical therapy, it involves the body, and it could be taken, super educationally, scientifically, sort of for what it is, or it could be taken in a completely different context, sexually. What's that balance been like for you? Because I know that you lead with a very, you know, information first platform, but there is a little bit of that thirst trapness. So
Mhm.
what's been your experience of bridging those 2 worlds?
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know how familiar you are with TikTok and the way they work. I mean, I'm not even too familiar with it, so I sound like an
It
expert, like I
changes
but
every day. Yeah, I know.
like, but basically, when you post a video, there's the search bar at the top, and from what I understand, they, like, categorize your video, and you'll see how they categorize your video in that search bar. Um, More often than not, they'll categorize it correctly as, like, an exercise educational video or, some sort of if I'm working on carpal tunnel, they'll say carpal tunnel up there. So I think the reason why I am able to get away with a lot of the, innuendo and things like that is because they are classifying it more as an educational video. Until I stop bridging that line and I see, like, maybe thirst trap in that line or something like that,
Right.
uh, then I'll know. But for now, it's been teetering on that line. I think when I first started, they had restricted, like, 2 of my videos, and I just appealed it. I have a friend that, has a large following, and so he's been giving me some advice on certain things like that. So, yeah, I appealed them, they right away lit them back up. So I just have been, like, teetering that line. If it's something, like, I really wanna get aggressive with, I'll just put it on Instagram. They seem to be a lot more forgiving.
I love it, and I like that you alluded to the Twitter. That's why I love that you call it Twitter and not X because I'm on the same camp as you. But
Same.
the idea the idea of people wanting you to take it to the next level, and in
Mhm.
that respect, it's like we wanna see more. So we have to talk about the link tree because I we did our homework and we clicked and we prepared ourselves for the
Good.
content, but we love how you handled that, and so I wanna talk a little bit about that situation and how people are very thirsty to see dick,
Mhm.
and you're very much like, "Fine, click and try and find it," but you're not gonna.
So good.
Yeah. It's so the original link was to the Church of England. That was when I first started. It went to a church's website. Um, and then I was like, I need to change it up. So, yeah, I linked it to the Webster Dictionary for blue balls just to let people know, there's nothing there, you know? I don't have anything against it. If I needed the money and I would totally do it. I don't care. I even had, this conversation with an ex-boyfriend of mine back in the day. I was like, "Would you mind if I ever did it?" Like, just to kind of like test the waters and see. He was strongly against it, so it never happened. But yeah, I just haven't. I mean, I don't see the need to. If it's something I wanted to do, I would. No shame in it at all. I
No,
have a
none at
lot of
all.
friends that do it. More power to them. I've convinced people to do it. I'm like, you got to share your gift with the world, man.
Oh, that's
Um,
Right.
great.
but yeah, I mean, who knows? I never write anything off. I'm not opposed to it in the future if I ever wanted to. But right now, it's just not in the cards for me.
Well, it was the ultimate troll move to have everybody land on the Wikipedia page for blue balls, and that was or the Merriam-Webster's definition rather for blue balls. That
Yeah.
was super, super awesome. We definitely respect that hustle so much and whatever you choose to hustle with into the future, but what inspired the decision to lean into the will he, won't he of OnlyFans? You have such a following and they're almost like kind of yearning for it, and you're saying, "Nope, this is not where I'm at right now in my journey." So does it ever backfire with fans who really want that subscription?
I mean, I get a lot of interesting messages,
I bet.
and a lot of interesting requests. I don't think it's backfired. I mean, I don't know. The following fluctuates 1 to 300 followers a day, and they could be leaving and coming for any number of reasons. They could get frustrated. I may get people that leave comments saying, like, "I check every day to see if it's updated, like, to see if it's dropped."
Sad.
Yeah, it kinda started, honestly, I was kinda new to TikTok when I posted on it. I didn't really been on TikTok. I mean, I had scrolled once or twice, but never really, like, never even doom scrolled, never looked at it. So I didn't know, and people write all these crazy comments that I see now that everyone just writes. But at the beginning, I was like, "Oh my god, they really want this link." Like,
Mhm.
it was a lot. So I was like, "Let me just, like, play around with it." And it was funny because like, the first 4 months, everybody thought I was, like, straight, which I was like, "That's kinda wild. You guys are really bad gaydar, but sure." So I just kinda leaned into that, so I kinda leaned into the, like, "Oh, maybe he's straight, maybe he's not," and then I leaned into the OnlyFans, if I'm gonna drop it. But they've kinda subsided, people kinda know where I'm at now, and they definitely know I'm out. I mean, I hope they know by now.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you also define our podcast. You're very out and you're very loud, and we love that.
Yeah.
So you're such a good fit for this conversation. And we kind of talked about it a little bit, but you're obviously posting this content that's so tied to your face and your personality. And you're also a doctor, so you're very mindful, but, like, how do you keep your mental health in check? It sounds like you're really good at separating the 2, but how do you do that?
Yeah, I am a little bit of a workaholic, so I work a ton, and I have been struggling probably this season more than last season. My work is very seasonal just because there's mostly snowbirds. And this is the busiest part of my season now. So I haven't been posting as much this season, just because I have been working more. You know, my mental health and my patients come first. I mean, like, I love my community and I love, Dr. Tubbs and I love everything I built with it. But, the people that have been with me for years and I'm working with day in and night, day out, they really come first. They're kind of my why. So I definitely put them to the forefront. Um, I should probably put me first a little bit more. Actually, now that I'm saying that, I'm like, "Oh, shit." But I work on me too, so then probably next to me. Working out, making sure that I, keep my mental health up. Recently, I've been working a lot on my attachment styles and my personal goals for my relationships. So that's kind of probably taking some of my time now too, and that's why I haven't been posting as much either, this season. Um, because this is gonna sound wild, and this gets maybe a little bit into a little too much of the, scientific side of it, but I keep track of a lot of my vitals and things like that. When the weeks when I post more, my heart rate is lower, my HRV is
Uh,
better. So, like, I'm in better moods when I'm posting more. And so I'm trying to, like, make that more consistent now, and decrease my stress, get my cortisol down, things like that, so that I can post more. So it's a big circle, and you just gotta try to stay ahead of it.
That's an interesting way to look at it, and what an interesting case study that would be, that the weeks
Yeah.
that you post, like, the lower your heart rate is. Well, we really appreciate you showing us really under the hood, and that's not a euphemism. Thank you for the vulnerability there.
Absolutely.
We have loved the deep dive, but here at Out Loud and Laughing, we like to have this little ritual that we call this or that. We need to get into the brain with zero filters here, so this is a no overthinking exercise, no
Okay.
academic citations, nothing like that, just the vibe. It's time for another round of this or that, the unhinged get to know you game. We're calling this one the Doctor's Orders edition.
Okay.
Are you ready? I'll start.
Okay, great.
Awesome. Scruff or no scruff?
Um, Trimmed? Is trimmed an option? Like, yeah, 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 like
Oh,
trimmed, yeah.
like
Yeah,
Manscaped. I like
yeah,
that.
manscaped, not fully, like, waxed. No, we don't want that.
No, no, no.
right,
But
right.
a
You don't
nice
wanna be 12
trim, but
years
not,
old.
like, prickly. Like, I don't wanna feel like I'm with a porcupine either. Like, it's gotta be that, like, perfect. A
Oh,
little picky when it comes to that.
it's the worst. Like, who shows up like that anymore? Like, what are we, 14? Like, are you kidding? Anyway.
My god. Okay, so you're playing a baseball game. Are
Okay.
we pitching or catching in the game?
I mean, I don't know why you have to limit yourself to one position, you could just play the field,
Yes? Play a
right?
game.
Yeah,
Short, stop. I love it.
the best players know how to play every position, alright? That's how you make a good team leader.
You're a good sportsman.
I like it. Um, Leaving the sports realm, going straight back to the body. Are you a chest guy or are you a butt guy?
The chest oh, this is really like a Sophie's choice here.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh man. I would say, I mean, probably a butt because, not everybody can see the butt. So it's a little bit more special. It means a little bit
Mm.
more.
That is the
Oh,
best
I
answer to
love
that
that.
question that we've ever gotten, Dr.
Literally,
Tubbs.
that is
Yeah.
so touching, actually.
Brian, you can't touch butts without asking. Consent is sexy, okay?
Depends where you're at. Okay,
Depends.
so okay, do you prefer a shower?
Definitely shower. Definitely shower because I'm a go, go, go person. Like it's hard for me to sit still. So a bath would be tough. A hot tub, yeah, I could go for a hot tub, but a bath would be a little bit hard for me to relax for sure.
I'll take a relaxing hot tub. That's nice. When you're on the hunt, are you looking out in the wild or are you on the apps?
Um, in the wild would and make that would make me have to go out in the wild. So,
Yeah,
and
Right.
I don't really do much to be honest with you. So,
Uh,
um, I'm also not really on many of the apps at the moment. Here and there, you go through like I guess
download, delete. Yeah.
yeah, depending on what you need at that time. But like I said before, I'm kind of focusing on me right now. I'm really like focusing
Yeah.
on like improving myself. So I put that on the back burner for now.
So
So,
important, super,
It is,
super, yeah, super
yeah.
important.
especially
But
to
if somebody has, like, a
recognize it.
long-range rifle and they wanna try to hit me, I'm down, you know? Like,
Take it.
it'll be a hard shot, but
Take it.
Do
Uh,
you wear are you boxers or briefs?
um, like, boxers, like, the, like, long, like, loose ones?
yeah,
Listen, it's
like
the question.
1990s. Yeah.
I don't think
Judge
people
away.
I don't do they make those?
You'd
Yeah.
be surprised, we've gotten that answer before.
No, yeah, I guess the ones I wear are, like, boxer briefs, yeah, but which you could
Right.
probably see in my videos. I don't know, like, it's probably
Yeah.
very blatant.
It's
I don't
that
know, I keep going back to Webster's dictionary on blue balls,
yeah.
so
Brian, you need to stop checking the link tree every day. It's not gonna
Every day.
happen.
refresh, refresh.
uh, Dr. Tubbs, when you are taking care of yourself, are you doing a morning workout or a late night cardio session?
Oh, morning, so I'm a morning person. I get up at, like, at 4:30, and then I work out, do my breakfast, eat my protein shake. I go to bed at, like, 9:30 at the latest. Yeah, I'm like
Yeah,
I'm
Same.
like an old man, yeah,
same.
so,
No, you're with us.
um,
Same.
so definitely not like, if I worked out at night, like, I'd be like, "Oh, there's no way I could go to sleep." I'd be up. But I will hit my step goal, so I'll hop on the treadmill, hit my steps if I need to. But other than that, yeah, I won't do, like, a heavy strength training at night or
Dr. Tubbs, this has been such a blast. Thank you for being a part of our chosen fam now. You're stuck with John and I, and for keeping us laughing through the scrolling.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
absolutely.
Where can everybody find you other than the Church of England website? And where can they follow the journey and most importantly, get redirected to other websites because your link tree is just a fun place to be.
Yeah, so it's Dr. Tubbs, Tubbs on TikTok and Tubbss on Instagram because Dr. Tubbs is already taken. The guy does great work if you need a tub done, but it was taken.
That's awesome.
So, but, yeah, so you can find me on those there, and then I guess you could find me on Twitter, but you'd be disappointed.
Well, all right. Thank you, everyone, for listening, chosen fam. Stay loud, stay laughing, and remember, if they don't have a sense of humor, they aren't worth the data. We'll see you next week.
Bye, y'all.
This was Out Loud and Laughing.
We're available everywhere you get your podcasts: Spotify, Apple, YouTube, iHeart, or wherever.